a lot of people just have so much trouble cold calling. They're like nervous to start or whatever it may be. I would recommend just starting, trying to do like at least a couple a day, and you get used to it. For sure. It does suck at first. It definitely sucks. It still sucks. Like even just now. But yeah, you get used to it because you're gonna hear a lot of no's first, and it fucking sucks at first. Like you get no's. Like most of the calls are gonna be no's, but you're gonna get.
To be honest, for me, I was nervous too when I started cold calling, but now like I just find it fun. Every time I cold call, it's super fun.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's like a game. You're trying to pick up more clients.
Like if I were to hop on a basketball court, I'll be super nervous at first, right? But then eventually I just wouldn't even really be thinking about it. It would just kind of just happen. Like Barry doesn't think about or worry about playing. He just plays.
Exactly. Forgetless. I just saw your question in there. I'm not sure if you're actually in here. I don't think he is in here, but he said it doesn't matter where you're based. If anyone else has the same question, it doesn't matter where you're based. You can be anywhere. We have a lot of affiliates all over the place, not just the U.S. We actually have a lot of people outside the U.S. too, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that you won't be able to use of high level is Yext, which is the business listings, but we do have an alternate solution called FatJoe.com. So that's just it's basically Yext, but you're able to use it when you're not in the U.S. So for anyone not in the U.S., you're good. And honestly, there's probably less competition outside the U.S. So I think honestly, people outside the U.S. have it a little easier. You know, there might be some less competition. Some of the Facebook groups here, there's definitely a ton of Facebook groups out there, but I have seen people advertising in some of them. But, you know, there's still plenty of clients to go around. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you might have to charge a little bit less, but hey, maybe in some of those places, the cost of living might be a little less. So, it might be like somewhat equivalent, but yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, LPZ Goon. If you want to hop on here. Sorry, I didn't see that.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so some advice to some of the guys is that what I've been doing is, although I don't have a product yet because I just started in this space, I've been networking with the industry that I'm already in, and I've been networking with other people in my network already. So although I don't have a client and a product per se, just the simple fact that I'm solving a lot of their pain points that I already know of because I'm in the same industry, they're already interested in seeing a product. And I already have a couple meetings with a couple VPs in the area for the product that I'm creating. So it's just a matter of networking and just getting out there and talking to people.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. What industry are you in? I think that's a great idea.
So I'm currently in the insurance business now. I run my own insurance business currently.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great idea as well. So you're just networking with other people in the industry and trying to, so I guess not friends and family, but kind of, because you're kind of just networking with different people in the industry, trying to pick them up as clients, or just trying to show them what you have?
Yeah, just trying to pick them up as clients. Because we go to the same meetings sometimes for, some of these companies and their new rollouts and their new products that they're rolling out. And I'm already talking to people while I'm there, just networking by itself. But then I'm also adding on, saying, hey, look, I'm doing this product. I'm creating something. I'll be in touch with you guys soon. And I already have a list of agents already interested in what I'm going to be doing.
That's solid. I just wanted to tap on that as well. It's a really good point that you mentioned networking there. And one thing I just wanted to plug again, for those of you who might be a little bit newer, is something that I used to do a lot for when I was actually in insurance too. I worked as a financial advisor for a couple months for Northwestern Mutual. And what I used to do a lot was just go to different networking events. I'm in New York City right now, so there's a ton of networking events always happening for, whether it's entrepreneurs, whether it's, wealth management, whether it's whatever. There's always networking events, and I definitely recommend if you can or if you, want to go in person and go to networking events. It's definitely a good time. It's fun. You get to meet some people, get your name out there, and, those people are there for a reason too. They want to meet other people who might have ideas or might be able to help them or whatever it might be. You can help them with their business. They can help you. They might provide referrals for you, or they might be, potential clients. So it's always something that I recommend going to. And there's another thing called B&E groups, or B&I groups, I think it might be actually. And you meet like once a week with a group of other people who all have kind of referral-based businesses as well. So like different financial advisors, real estate agents. You got SEO guys, you have SaaS guys, marketing guys, that type of thing. And everybody kind of comes together and presents, their business, what they do. And then after that, it's pretty much everybody's job to refer each other business and make everybody money. It's like a money-making type group. So that's a good another way to prospect and find clients. And it kind of just popped into my head when you talked about networking and establishing a market to then approach. And that's a really good approach.
The only thing I'll say about that, guys, is if you guys decide to go that route, make sure you dress well, you smell good, because those are professional outings. And if you're not looking professional, they won't talk to you as much.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. Just networking is just huge in general. Also, networking through the Facebook groups as well. Like obviously in person, you have that next level of being able to be connected with these people in person. You're be able to be trusted a lot more. But even just networking. So I always, in my prospecting course, I preach prospecting in these Facebook groups is good. But also if you find groups that are active, like these really like hot, you'll find certain high quality ones. And I talked about this in another Q&A a couple weeks ago, where if you find these high quality ones, you'll see like these good admins running the groups, all the members are active and stuff. If you network between the admins and the owners, that's definitely another great way, because these admins and the owners, they know all of the local businesses that are in this group, and they're probably friends with a good amount of them. So if you start networking, connecting with those owners and those active groups, or the admins or whatever it may be, or even just the business owners that are active, you're now going to start connecting with the serious active people that want to grow their business, and you're going to get a lot more business that way as well. So that's like a little cheat code.
$100%. I just want to add on that. It's always helpful to keep your name out there and stay in front of people. You obviously have a better chance, and you're giving yourself more of a chance the more you kind of announce what you're doing and let people know. And if you're constantly, in somebody's face, I mean, not necessarily in their face, but I guess like on their page, or, you're constantly in the same area at the same events as them, or even if, you're just constantly preaching on your pages that they just happen to see about your business and what you're doing, updates, little news articles or whatever you want to share, and just keeping your name out there, keeping yourself, relevant and active. I think that's a really good way of just exactly kind of tandem with what Connor was saying in Facebook groups, but even on LinkedIn, different social medias, just be posting what you're doing, tell family, tell friends, and people talk. It might not happen initially, but after a while, and especially if you're consistent and you want to stay in the business model, the longer you're in it, the more serious you take it, the more you're actually talking about it and getting yourself out there, the more success you'll inevitably have. And then that just goes hand in hand with building the relationships after that point, and then you get referrals from those clients, and it kind of just works, itself out after a certain point.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think also on that same note, I know a lot of people probably just kind of goes hand in hand with cold calling. A lot of people might be a little bit afraid of cold calling at first, a little nervous, but content as well, making content on social media, just like honestly a necessity at this point. Like maybe not exactly a necessity right now, but it will help tremendously. And in the future, I think it's going to be a necessity. And I think almost essentially is at this point, just making content for your brand, your personal brand, as well as your business or just any business in general. So if you're able to take that step and start making videos and just literally putting them out there, no matter how many views you get, if you probably are going to get low views in the beginning, you might get a video to pop off, which would be great, but just continue to just stay persistent, keep posting, just like you would cold calling. You get a ton of no's. You're going to get a lot of shitty videos before you get a good one. You're going to get a lot of no's before you get a yes on a cold call. You're going to get a lot of shitty videos. I think content's massive, and I even get a lot of businesses hitting me up, even though it's not really directly what I'm kind of going for with my social media. I'm mainly going for affiliates, as well as I'm trying to pick up clients as well through there, but it's not as direct. And I'm getting a ton of businesses hitting me up. Like, all it takes is just one video to do well, and you're going to get multiple people hitting you up. And the great thing about that is when you get people hitting you up, that's a warm lead. That's no longer a cold lead. That's a warm lead because they're messaging you first. They're interested in what you have. Much easier to close when it's warm. Much easier. So if anyone was thinking about it and they're on the fence about making content, do it. Just stay persistent, start posting, and it will pay off 100%. Just like cold calling will. So will social media. And I think social media is probably even a little better. If you can get good at it and master it, it will pay off tenfold.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought of like content creation as a way to get like inbound businesses hitting you up. That's cool.
Yeah, it's all just building your personal brand. Even just making videos like, yo, just showing what you're doing. Like, in terms of like, yo, like the one video that I just posted recently that started getting a lot of views, I just showed an example automation of like a barbershop. And I made an automation. It doesn't even need to be a business you have. If you don't have any businesses, make like an example. It doesn't need to be necessarily like one that you have. Like, literally make an example, make it cool, make it appealing, and just make like an automation. Just do a video of the automation. Like, I made an automation that does this for this business, and then say this part of it does this part of it does this part of it does this. And obviously there's other components to like social media, like having the content flow properly and just making it watchable. But it's not that hard. And obviously you get better with practice, just like anything else. But yeah, no, it's great. Anyone else got any questions?
I don't have any questions, but just wanted to say thank you everyone for giving your take on this. This is my first time joining the Q&As, and I'm learning a lot already.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Connor.
No problem. Good to have you.
Connor?
Yep.
Yeah. So do you think posting ads is like the best way to kind of get leads?
For your business or your clients?
No, for your clients.
Yeah. Depending on the business, unless like, so if you think about it, you have a couple different ways of getting clients. You have paid advertising. You have organic advertising, which is just social media. And then you have like, and then organic advertising would be also included in that would be social media, and also like your Google like SEO and stuff, like just organic search results.
Right.
And then you'd have like outreach, cold outreach. Those are like the three pretty much main ways. For like a business, you wouldn't be doing cold outreach for like a salon. That just doesn't make any sense. So you basically have paid and organic is your main forms. You could probably, you can definitely upsell. Like right now, what are you charging them? What are you charging the business that you have?
$397. It's a monthly.
$397.
Yeah, monthly.
And are you running ads for them?
Yeah.
Okay. You could definitely, I think down the line, start to upcharge a little bit. But what I would do, are you running Facebook ads for them?
Yeah, only Facebook. But yeah, I'm looking into like TikTok and shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I would do TikTok ads for a hair salon.
No, it's not a hair salon. It's a body sculpting and stuff, like body contouring.
Oh, okay, yeah. The TikTok might be
It's like a med spa. It's like a med spa.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I think that would be a good idea for TikTok then. I think, are you running Facebook lead forms?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good, yeah. Yeah, running ads and then building their social media presence is another way to generate them more clients. And then, like I was saying before, like what High Level is really good at is like nurturing and retaining the clients you get into your ecosystem. Once they fill out their information on the contact form, they're now in your ecosystem. Now you have their data, and you can then do the follow-up campaigns. In certain cases, you can like
it's all automated. It's all automated. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. And like, for example, like I just recently picked up a new client that has a concealed carry permit class. So their business is they charge people to do this mandated class for New York State to have a concealed carry permit, to like have a concealed carry weapon. So they're running a class and it costs $550 for the class. So I'm running Facebook ads, advertising the class. I'll get them into the ecosystem. Once I have them in, I have the whole follow-up flow going. And also additionally, I have the owner of this class cold call that list. Because in her case, it's not like a that type of business. It's for a class, and these people showed interest in the class. So in that specific case, I have her also cold call the list because they showed interest. So she calls them and says, "Hey, we saw you filled out our Facebook ad form. Did you have any questions about the course? Like, are you looking to sign up?"
Is that a VA?
No, it's the owner of the business. I just have her go and call.
Okay.
Yeah. But besides that, it has that whole text follow-up. I have it running like 7 follow-ups, and it stops on response. So if someone responds to the texts, it stops the automation, and it prompts her to respond to the lead.
Okay.
But yeah, I think paid is a really great way. If you have money, it's like guaranteed. Like organic is good to do in the background, and it's really good if you have a good system in place and you're skilled and you have like a whole team. So I would honestly, it's a really good skill to have. So I would start making content, because you could always build their organic following, their organic reach as well on TikTok without even doing paid stuff. And that's all great, but paid is like consistent. Like, you're going to pay money and you're going to get leads in. It's just trying to get those leads as cheap as possible by making your content, kind of optimizing your content. It's all about the actual the creative, which is the video or the image. So when it comes to content, you can run a paid ad. You might get leads for $10. And if you make a way better video, you might get leads for $2, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like you were saying about the Facebook groups, I'm in a good amount of local groups. They're all active and everything, but it's mainly just these business owners posting, advertising their business. There's not really any engagement. Like, I tried posting my services, my offer, no engagement. So I guess like for prospecting, you cold PM, like how would you like approach that? Because part of me is like overthinking it because I want to really try and get the most local clients as possible. And part of me like wants to like outreach to different states because I want to make sure my offer is like perfected and everything.
Yeah. So the way I do that, like what I meant by really like active groups, like posting's nice. And I'll explain that first. When there's just a bunch of businesses posting, and it's just a ton of businesses posting, which is pretty often how it goes, that's when I'd find these businesses posting, I'd look for businesses that I want, click on their page. Sometimes their phone number will be in their post itself. Sometimes you have to click their page and you'll see their phone number there. And then I'll go down and just write down a ton of these. I'll put it in an Excel spreadsheet, their name, their phone number, their business name, and any notes. And I'll go down and just make a list. I would advise making a list. I personally like to call them right there, but it's more efficient if you make a list. I just like doing it that way. But it's much more efficient if you make a list and then call the list after. So you have one block of time where you're prospecting and then one block of time where you're cold calling. But yeah, the groups where I'm talking about, like, you'll see the admins posting and being like, hey, welcome all the new members. Like, some of the groups by me, I'll join. The admin will be like, hey, welcome Connor to the group. Hey, Connor, do you want to tell us what you do? And then you, like, accuse you to, like, make a little post about what you, like, stuff like that. That's what I mean by, like, the admins are super active. And in those groups, that's when you can, like, hit up the owner and be like, hey, like, I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to just jump on a call if you got like 10 or 15 minutes. Obviously, you're not going to try and sell the owner of the group immediately. You don't want to burn the connection immediately. You just want to literally build a relationship with him. You're not trying to sell him shit, because that would just completely burn the relationship off rip, which would be really slow. So those are the types of group where I would like network with the admins and the owners. But if it's just a group where just businesses are just spamming their like advertisements and shit, that then I would go through all these businesses and just make a list and then start cold calling them and use that Facebook group as a point of connection. Say, hey, we're both in that same Facebook group. I'm working with some other local businesses in the area to help them get some more clients. Is that something you'd be interested in? Some variation of that, some similar. You could even come up with your own intro if you wanted. That's just the one I've been using. Obviously, there's tons of other ways you can go about an intro like that. But yeah, I would make a big list and then cold call those people after you make the list.
Thank you, bro. That's very helpful. Like, no one ever mentioned about calling the admins and stuff. I feel like that's pretty smart. But my AirPods connected for some reason. I didn't hear exactly what you said. You said on the cold calls. I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of, I saw your post in the Facebook group. I'm working with some other businesses to help them get more clients or something like that.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, John. My name's Connor. I saw your post in the Long Island business Facebook group, and then you pause, wait for him to acknowledge that, and say, yeah, I'm also in that group. You know, I'm working with some other local businesses in the area to help them, or you might even say, like, I'm working with some other local type of business. So local hair salon. I'm working with some other local hair salons or some other local contractors to help them generate some more clients. Is that something that you'd be interested in? And then, I mean, for the most part, they should, because who doesn't want more clients? Everybody wants more clients. And some people will bullshit you and be like, hey, like, yeah, no, I'm super bit, like, I'm booked through right now. Like, yeah, some people might be like booked through where they're so busy, but in reality, most people probably aren't, and most people could use more business. Nobody doesn't want more business unless they're, I don't know. But, and then after that, what I'd say, if they are interested, usually they're like, okay, yeah, how do you do that? Like, what are you doing? And then I would say something along the lines of like, yeah, so we are a software company. So we're giving local businesses the opportunity to use the same systems and tools that some of these larger corporations, larger businesses, larger Fortune 500 companies are using. Because that's technically what it is. What we're doing, we're using like a little bit of a smaller scale system to what these super large corporations are using. All these larger companies have some stuff like this in place already, 100%. And local businesses, especially blue collar, like mom and pop type stuff, don't. And they could very much benefit from the use of this software. So that's kind of how I pitch it. It's a little differently sometimes. And then I'll give them a brief explanation. Like, yeah, we can automate all of your appointments. We can have automatic appointment setting and reminders. We could also do like automatic lead text back. Just give them a very brief explanation and then say, does that sound like something you could benefit from? And if they say yes, then, because you want to keep the cold call brief. So after that, then you're like, okay, cool. Would you be opposed to hopping on a quick, 10, 15 minute call sometime this week, and we can, I can get to know a little bit more about you and your business, see if we'd be a good fit, and then from there we can talk about the possible next steps. And then that's when you try and get the booking. You want to get the booking on that first cold call. So you want to keep the cold call brief, kind of like that. Obviously, main focus is building a relationship with the prospect. You don't want to necessarily focus on selling them. Just give them some information and try and connect with them a little bit. You don't want to take too much of their time. And then the second key point, if they are interested, if they want the meeting, you want to lock in that meeting on that call. So you say, hey, does tomorrow at 4 p.m. work? Or does Wednesday at 3 p.m. work? They say, you give them like 2 or 3 options to pick from. Try and nail down a time and then say, hey, okay, cool. I'm going to put you down for 3 p.m. on Wednesday. All right, cool. I'll see you at 3 p.m. Wednesday. And then you put that in the system. So it sends them reminder text too. So that's going to make them more likely to show up to the meeting, because you are going to get some no-shows. Some people are just not going to show up to the demos. That just happens. But you're going to increase the rate at which they show up if you make sure you nail it down on the call, as well as put them in the system so they get the reminder texts following up to the meeting. Those are 2 things you can do to increase your show rate.
That's golden, bro. Thank you.
I got you. Anyone else got any questions about cold calling, picking up clients, anything like that? Oh, Raj, I just saw your question from 828. Quick question. Is it possible to make invoices for your clients where the clients can pay via a bank transfer? So, to my knowledge, you have the ability to use Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, and with Stripe, you could also use Apple Pay and Google Pay. I am unsure if you can do bank transfer. Stripe may allow that. I've honestly never looked into that. I usually take credit or debit, or Apple Pay or Google Pay. I'm sure it's possible via Stripe. I would think there's got to be a way to do that through Stripe. But let me take a look. You can definitely customize the invoices. I saw your question before. You can customize the invoices. You can make them in the payments tab. You can just click new, and then you're able to basically, change how much you can add the client and the item and stuff like that. You can add everything, discount it, whatever.
Yep.
You could send custom invoices like that.
I just wanted to hop on. I just looked at it. Stripe can accept bank transfers from your customers using Stripe-provided customer-specific bank account details. So it looks like you can pay via bank wire. I'm thinking I might, that might not be what it means, but it looks like it. So it looks like you'd be able to. Have you had somebody try to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be
cards,
possible.
Bank debits, bank redirects, bank transfers, buy now, pay later, real-time payments, vouchers, wallets. Yeah, there's a bunch of different methods that Stripe accepts.
You can.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He charges thousands. So you're saying you can't. He should be able to charge that much. Oh, well, you're doing credit card. I mean, you could technically hit a credit card for that much. That's actually a good question.
So, wait,
some of my clients.
Are you saying trying to set up payments for your client? Is that what you're
That's what I'm assuming he means. Raj, you're talking about payments for that client, correct? Okay. So Stripe. Let me see.
200 every transaction.
Some of my clients that do take, so that you can do ACH transfers and stuff. I'm just unsure how you put that on the front end where he can like send like a comprehensive little checkout page with the customer's info. It's definitely possible. We'd have to look into some of my clients that do take the larger payments just have their own payment system because they change their payments so much that they usually don't want me to create, like some of the roofing guys and stuff. Those are like it's a lot of money and they have their payment systems in place, so I don't typically put the Stripe for that, and they don't have too many like recurring customers in that type of business. What kind of business is it that it's that large of payments? Okay. Yeah. He would prefer to not pay the surcharge. So I'll tell you what. I'll look into this after the Q&A. But I think I'm already kind of thinking just off the top of my head a couple different ways. I think the best way to do it, you can probably mess with it and figure out a way you could do it through the actual invoice. But I would say probably the better idea would be go direct through Stripe for that. So like you'd go into Stripe, figure out, okay, this is how we take ACH or bank transfers, and then just send them the link, just the Stripe link, just like you'd send just like you're able to do it normally through Stripe, like for product links, you can send someone directly through Stripe. It might be easier for him if you had this link in Stripe, you could give him the link and just have him send that Stripe link to his clients to be able to do that. But I'll look into it after the Q&A for sure, because this is a little bit of a more in-depth question. Some in-detail Stripe stuff that we could take a look at. But it 100% is possible. It definitely would, I would say, off the top of my head, through Stripe would be the best way to go about it, like direct through Stripe. I don't believe you can get rid of that. But I haven't really messed with the custom invoices too much, trying to remove that stuff. But to my knowledge, I don't think you can remove that green button.
Another quick question. So like on the demo video,
Yeah.
as far as like offers, like a lot of these businesses need help with like they don't have missed call text back, they don't have chat widget, they don't have optimized website with automations, they don't have many reviews. Like, would you like offer all of that, or like would you kind of like some of them? A lot of these businesses need help with all of that. Like, would you try and offer that all of them, and then?
Yeah. I would like the way I structure mine, right? So I have the 97 plan, which gives you access to the software. I'll onboard you, but I'm not going to do anything for you. And then there's like the 497 plan, for example. That's where I'd offer them everything. Because I know in the SaaS configurator, if that's what you have the ability to like kind of give certain features to certain plans. And that's fine. Like I usually tell people, like, you can structure your plans how you want to. The way I do mine is you have the hands-free, which is kind of like the done for you, which is a little bit higher ticket at $497, and then you have the low ticket 97. You buy it, you get onboarded, you have the video library, and I'll like answer questions, obviously, and that's passive. The So the 97 people are passive, where they pay me. It's not much work at all. Not that the 497 is so much work. It's really not that much work. But the 97 is almost fully passive, where you're just there to help them if they like have a question or something like that. And then the 497 where you do everything for them. That's how I would do it. Is that kind of what you meant by your question?
Yeah, exactly. That helped.
Yeah, so like what I would do is give them like, and I would probably upsell the website creation. And obviously this depends. Like if you're just starting, maybe like throw some stuff in for free. When you're just starting, it's fine to like throw value in for free. Like, hey, you know, if you don't want to do a 30-day free trial, what you could do alternatively, if you like really need the money and you really want the money, I still think the 30-day free trial is a really good way to go about it. But you could say, hey, you know, when you sign up, what we'll do for you, we'll optimize your Google business profile for free. We'll throw in your website for free because you're making it from a template, so it's really not too much work. But yeah, we'll throw in the website for free. But normally, I'd probably upcharge. Like I'd probably, for normal clients, have a setup fee. So you have the setup fee plus the monthly fee. So they pay the one-time setup fee. They never have to pay that again, and then they just pay the monthly fee. But you can probably implement the setup fee a little bit down the line because it might be, you know, tough enough in the beginning to get, you know, a client paying $497 whatever. When you're just starting out, you know, it could take you a couple tries. But yeah, you can do website, automate their website, automate their Google business profile, and then you can like get in. Once you get into a niche, you can start to get creative and come up with some cool automations, some more advanced automations, and stuff like that. And then reputation management, obviously that's huge. And the video that I'm putting out tomorrow is going to go over a lot of these key selling points. So if anyone here has trouble selling, trouble figuring out, because I get asked so much, what, like there's so much to sell. Like, what am I selling? What am I even like selling to these businesses? How do I sell it? So I just made this whole video going over kind of, it's quick. It's a 5-minute video, but it goes over like 4 things. I think it's like 4 key points that I like to go over. Obviously, there's a lot more to it. I'm probably going to have to make a part 2, but I picked like 4 of like the main things that I like. But yeah, so that'll be out tomorrow morning. Or maybe it'll be out tomorrow morning.
I think what I'll do to start is probably try and go heavy on trying to get clients for the 497 plan where it's like with the services, and then probably I might like just offer them a free redesign of their website because that's not too hard.
Yeah. That's a good idea. And you can even implement, I know a lot of people also ask me, you can implement, and I say this all the time, but it's good to say because some people get really discouraged by this if they think it's not possible. You can put automations and anything really, calendars, forms on any other website, chat widget on any other website. The website can be like WordPress, Wix, whatever, Squarespace, whatever. You can take all the automations from high level and implement. If they already have a website built, you can add all that stuff to their website that's already built if they don't want a website, which is great because it saves you time from having to build them a website. And you just let your client know that, because some clients be like, oh, I already have a website. I don't need blah, blah, blah. Like, hey, we'll take your website and we'll optimize it. We'll automate it. We'll edit the copy. We'll make sure it's, you know, a lot better than it is now. You can tell them, hey, there's a couple things that you might want to think about fixing on here. We can fix all that for you, and we can automate all of it. We can automate all of that because right now, when someone fills out your contact form, where's it going? They're probably going to say, yeah, it's going to the back end of my website editor, and most people don't even read those. Like, I picked up a business, I think like last month, and I went into his Wix contact form inbox, and it was just filled with leads. Like, this guy just had leads coming into his inbox. He had no idea. I was like, dude, you know, you have like leads from like the past year just in this inbox that you just never like answered any of them. He's like, oh, fuck. So a lot of these businesses are stupid, and they could use some help.
So would you say like a lot of these businesses just have their website up just to really have it up? They don't really, there's no function for it. Like they don't care about it. It's kind of just like their digital.
Yeah, I think a lot of these businesses are they're behind. They're in the old. They're still in the. They don't really. They know that they should be on social media, and they know that they should have some type of digital presence, and that's their like attempt. Like obviously websites. You need a website. You just need one, and they have it up, and they think, okay, that's all I need to do. But in reality, you have to tell them, and you have to make them realize, like, all right, it's 2023 now. You need to do a lot more than just have a shitty website up. Or if it's not a shitty website, even if it's like a decent website, you need to do a lot more than just have a website. Especially now with all the technology coming out, you're still living out here with none of that stuff in your business, and you know what all your competitors are doing? They have all that stuff. They have all this technology, so you're at a massive disadvantage if you don't have this stuff, and you seriously need to figure it out. You need to get this stuff in, and we can help you do that. So that's what I would tell them. Obviously not as blunt as that, but honestly, maybe blunt might even be good, because they need this stuff. And with the way technology is moving, everybody's starting to get this stuff. So they'll be at a serious disadvantage if they don't have this stuff. So that's a good way to frame it, I would say, is maybe frame it negatively. Instead of saying, oh, you really need this stuff, it could really help, maybe just try and show them what will happen, the result of not using it. Might be a better way to frame it in certain situations.
Exactly, I agree. And I just wanted to mention you can portray yourself in like a better light. Like you basically can paint the picture as yourself as a business owner, like a small business owner, really looking to, help your local community get better, get, more technologically advanced, help the businesses succeed and thrive more than they probably are right now. Or, especially with COVID, I know a lot of like service-based businesses closed down. You can basically just kind of act as, it's kind of extreme, like as their savior in a way, be like, hey, I really have this great opportunity to help you, introduce your business into, like what Connor was saying, the modern world. And as such, put you up to par with all your competitors who might be, advancing while you guys might be falling behind, or, whatever the case might be. And chances are also that you're going to be dealing with, mostly people who are older, who, exactly like we've been talking about, don't really understand the tech as well and don't really understand, growth as well. So it really does come down to, back at the beginning of the call, we were talking about cold calling and stuff. It's just a numbers game. And there are going to be plenty of people who don't really care about growing or don't really care about getting improved in the realm of tech. But then you just have the people who, maybe you get a younger person or you just get somebody who's still hungry to grow their business, to do better. And those are the people who you connect with. And it ends up being a more profitable relationship for both of you, because those are the type of people who are also going to refer you to their friends, because they probably have other successful friends who are doing similar things. And it just goes into a cycle, and then you can just improve your business, improve their business, and help their friends, and everybody wins.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the way that framing it like that is good too. Like framing it as, I'm also a small business, and I'm looking to help, all the small businesses in the local community. I think that's a really good angle to come at it from. Where you're kind of resonating with them and relating to them, where you're also kind of in their same shoes in a way. You're also a small business, you're local, and you're just trying to help all your other local businesses in the community digitize their business and automate and modernize like everyone else is doing nowadays.
Exactly. It's almost like a help me, help you type thing.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Good question before I go. I know I had a lot of questions, but like as far as like SMMA, like I know a lot of people are saying that. I mean, some people are shining a negative light on like SaaS and everything, and saying you should get into SMMA. And like I feel like in the future, I definitely want to learn ads because I've only been focusing on SaaS. But like, how long do you think it would take to learn ads? Because I don't want to waste time learning ads if I don't even have any really clients really.
Yeah. I think I don't know, the SMMA, the whole SMMA community is kind of fucked a little bit. There's a lot of scumbags. There's a lot of scamming going on. There's a lot of sus shit going on there that I don't fuck with at all. So I definitely see why there's people, trying to shine a negative light on it. That's why I like to. I mean, SaaS I just like way better. It's a much better business model in my opinion. Like doing this lower ticket versus high, but ads aren't necessarily that hard. To be honest, I'm not the best at ads. Like obviously I know what I'm doing, but I have a lot, like I'm not specialized in ads in any way. There's people that are a lot better than me at running ads. But the great thing about it, like nowadays, the creative is everything. Like back in the day, like, whatever, a couple of years ago, a couple months ago, whenever it was, you used to be able to target with ads, like mess with settings and like interests and stuff, and like target your way to your audience, which you can still do somewhat. But nowadays, ads, like 90% of how well the ad's going to do is the creative itself, so the video, and it's moving a lot towards short form content. Which is like that's the new thing. That's the new thing people are doing for ads. That's how you're going to get cheap leads, cheap signups, cheap whatever, is short form content. So yeah, the ads itself, learning how to run those ads is quite easy. Honestly, you can learn that in probably a day or two. Get a hang of it. Obviously, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to the ad managers, but they're very straightforward. They have simplified options as well in the Facebook, TikTok ad managers. They have like a simplified version of it where you can it's very straightforward to set up. But like I was saying, the creative itself, the actual video picture that you're using is going to determine how well your ad performs. But yeah, it's not really that hard. And some of the ads I make, like for example, the client I just picked up, the concealed carry, it was a little tricky. I made an ad in I'm probably going to record a video for them. They just have a really tight budget, and I wanted to charge them more if I'm recording the video for them. So I didn't record that yet, but I'm currently doing, I made an image in Canva. Canva's really easy to make the ads in, like image ads. And it's performing pretty decently. To be honest, I just made I couldn't put a gun in it. I was trying to, but Facebook wouldn't let me put it up. So I just put their logo in the middle, said concealed carry class, got some copy from ChatGPT. I used ChatGPT to make the phrases for it, like the headline and description. Great headline, and it came up with a great headline and description. And I made a couple different variations of it. I'm probably gonna make a video on ads as well, so I'll make a more in detail video on ads. But yeah, it's pretty simple. It's overall pretty simple. If you have any questions, just hit me up.
Yo, Connor, rate my ad real quick. This is the one I made. I'm not really good at editing videos, but that's the one I made right there, and let me know if it's nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
I just watched it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I like that.
Where is it?
I like that. It's in the Q&A chat right here. It's quick, it's to the point, and I like the text over the video. The font you used and the way you did it was really nice, actually.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good ad. Do you know? Do you have it running right now?
Yes, but I'm not getting shit right now. In terms of leads, I'm not getting any leads right now. No.
You're not. Wait. You have it running, but you're not getting any leads.
Nope. Well, it's been 2 days, right? So I feel like I have to wait. But
what are you running? How much money per day?
10 per day.
10 per day. It's a little low, but you should. How big? It could be a targeting issue. What are you
Yeah,
running
yeah.
local? Are you running local?
It is local, but I think the radius is like 25 miles.
Okay, so your total radius is one location with a 25-mile radius?
Yeah.
That's really weird, honestly. You should be getting some leads. I'm
I've
trying
gotten
to
like
think.
I've gotten like 400 reach or impressions, but yeah, so far no leads.
That's really weird.
I've seen a video on like how like the creative doesn't really matter. It can just be a picture, right? But the description and your offer is what really matters. I don't know if that's true, but I low-key want to try it out.
Try what?
Like having like an image and then like the description is like different. Like, hey, hey, New York, are you tired of neck pain, whatever? And then
Yeah, what I'd do, create a couple different images in Canva. Like Canva also has templates pre-made. You can deadass go in and type in.
I have another one from Canva.
Yeah.
I'll show you right now. I might use it, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe try like a straight up image. See how it does it. A lot of advertising, a lot of that is testing. Like a lot of it is testing.
Mhm.
Even like people that are very skilled in advertising, it's testing. Like for example, like when I'm running TikTok ads for the affiliate stuff, I'm constantly switching out, testing different creatives, and the creatives are like everything else I'm keeping the same, but the creatives massively dictate my cost per sign up. It's so crazy to see just testing different stuff, how low you can get it. Sometimes it fluctuates really high. So testing a lot of different stuff is a good idea.
Here, that's the one I made right there. It's not bad, but I don't know if I feel like a video is harder. Like, better.
I think so. I would make it, if you're running Facebook Insta, I would make it square, 1080 by 1080.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot going on in this. I think maybe if you could take out the phone number and website, because what you're doing with a lead form, one, the actual account, like the account that you're advertising off of, they can click your account and get to your actual account. And I think it kind of just makes a little too much going on in the ad when you have the phone number and website on the screen. So if you make it square.
So it should be just the offer, right? Just the offer to like catch their attention, and then they can go to lead form and to sign up, right?
Exactly, because then they're like, oh, they'll see exactly what it is. It won't be cluttered. It's just very straight to the point, like almost like PRP hair treat. What does PRP mean?
It's like for hair loss. So if you're suffering with hair loss, you can. I don't know exactly what it is, like how it works, but
okay.
It's loss,
so,
yeah.
Coming at it from a perspective, I don't know, like target audience. If I was a guy like losing hair, but I didn't like do research, I might not know what PRP means. So maybe put the words like hair loss, like.
Or what I can do? I can put like the before and after. Those pictures where it's like before and then after. I can do that too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea as well, showing like results. Like, but yeah, I would say maybe like one thing, especially that just stuck out to me. I have no fucking clue what PRP means, and I'm sure most other people don't either. And honestly, the image, like when I look at this, if you didn't tell me like hair loss.